At that time, the Spirit led Jesus in the desert to be tempted by the devil. I think it's important to remember what that time was. Of course, in writing the Gospels, we have them in chapters and verses and things like that, but it all would have been like one story. Matthew probably didn't go like, all right, chapter 4. It's all one thing. And so we need to remember what came right before the verses that we just heard. What came right before was Jesus' baptism. Liturgically, it was like a month and a half ago. It's all part of that one story. And so Jesus, of course, he goes into the waters of the Jordan, and the heavens opened up, and the Spirit floats down like a dove and comes upon him. And as he rises from the water, that voice from the heavens says, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." So through his baptism, Jesus gets affirmed who he is as the Son of God, his identity. And then at that time, he's led by the Spirit into the desert to be tempted by the devil. That word tempted in Greek, it comes from a word that refers to like the tempering of metal in fire, that afterwards makes it more pure and stronger. And a big part, as we heard, of where the devil's temptation lies for Jesus is in his identity and who he is. If you are the Son of God, he says it twice. Actually, Jesus will have to deal with that throughout the whole rest of his life, this direct or implicit demand for proof. He'll hear it on the cross. If you are the Son of God, get yourself and us down from here. His questioning of his identity, who he is, what his ultimate mission was. Jesus entered into baptism, as we talked about, why does Jesus have to be baptized? He underwent baptism to enter into solidarity with us, with sinful humanity, and it's the same in his temptations, willing to undergo temptation to be in solidarity with us. Because we face the same temptations, I think in a couple of different ways. Certainly we face those same temptations that Jesus did, to just kind of satisfy bodily pleasures, to go after honor and status and prestige, to maybe cling to power at all costs, as we see Jesus being tempted with. I think there's another level of this too. And just like Jesus, where the temptations go against who he is, his identity, and what he came to do. So the devil, he approaches Jesus and says, "Man, you've been fasting for 40 days and 40 nights," as it says in the gospel. He was hungry. So the devil says, hey, if you're who you are, if you are who you say you are, don't just be hungry. Just manufacture stones into bread. If you're God, why not do that? So too, maybe we question, okay, God, if you are who you say you are, why is there hunger in the world? And if you're God, why can't you just do something about it? The devil approached Jesus, took him up to the height of the temple, the highest part of the highest point of the capital city, the center of it all, and says, throw yourself down from there. It'll be, the angels will catch you. It'll be a big spectacle. People will have no doubt who you are. Why be anonymous? Just make it all known, man. Come on, you're God. Maybe for us too, we have that question, God, if you are who you say you are, then why don't you make yourself more known to me? Why do you stay hidden? Why not just make your power known and your presence known in a way that I can really grasp? The devil went up to Jesus, took him to a high place, and laid out for him all the kingdoms of the world. Isn't this why you came? To be the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, to reign over all peoples? Here they are. You got to do that one little thing. Just one little sin. Just worship me. Put the Father in second place. And all this will be yours. That's what you came to do, right? Maybe we're also tempted to question, like, God, if you are who you say you are, why not just come make the world a better place? Bring peace, bring harmony, no troubles. We too have those questions about who Jesus is, his identity, what he came to do. Just in our first reading, we hear about that fall of Adam and Eve. And the devil got them to disbelieve God's word. Did God really say? And he got them to doubt in God's love for them and his trust in them. Like God who created them out of the dirt, blew his own life into them, gave them everything they could possibly need, walked with them every day. Except don't eat from that one tree. And so the devil said, God must not care about you if he's telling you not to eat from that tree. Because he knows that if you eat from the tree, you'll be like him. He doesn't want you to be like him because then you'll be a rival to him. And so then you just need to take care of yourself and just reach for what is yours. And it looked good. They saw the fruit was good for eating. It looked nice, gained some wisdom. Temptation is never ugly, or else we wouldn't fall for it, right? It always looks good. But if it's not aligned with God's will, if we're not trusting in his ultimate provision and his love and his care for us, it's ultimately going to be not good for us. It's like that fall of Adam and Eve, that original sin of mistrust and of misplaced faith and doubting God's love and the strength of his word brought sin and death into the world. Now, Jesus never doubted the Father's love, and he hung firm to that, even in difficult circumstances. We see it in the Garden of Gethsemane. We see it on the cross. So we too, I think, are invited to always trust in who God is and his love for us, and his care and his providing for us for everything that we need, even in difficult circumstances, even times we feel sort of lost or doubtful or things in life or in the world don't make sense, or wouldn't you know, in a fallen world, not everything is as it should be. I was reading this week from Pope Benedict XVI's book, Jesus of Nazareth. And I started writing this sentence down. Then I wrote another sentence down. When I read stuff for homilies, I write down sentences or phrases, that catch my attention. But eventually I was like, this is all so good, I got to just take a picture of the whole page. Now don't worry, they're small pages. Small pages. But in his chapter on Jesus' temptations, after he goes for 20 small pages about Jesus' temptations, he kind of comes to this fundamental, this big question. So he asks, what did Jesus actually bring? If not world peace, universal prosperity, and a better world, what has he brought? The answer is very simple. God. He has brought God. He has brought the God who formerly unveiled his countenance gradually, first to Abraham, then to Moses and the prophets, then in the wisdom literature. It is this God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the true God, whom he has brought to the nations of the earth. He has brought God, and now we know his face. Now we can call upon him. Now we know the path that we human beings have to take in this world. Jesus has brought God, and with God, the truth about our origin and destiny, faith, hope, and love. It is only because of the hardness of our heart that we think this is too little. Yes, indeed, God's power works quietly in the world, but it is the true and lasting power. Again and again, God's cause seems to be in its death throes. Yet over and over again, it proves to be the thing that truly endures and saves. The earthly kingdoms that Satan was able to put before the Lord at that time have all passed away. Their glory has proven to be a mere semblance. But the glory of Christ, the humble, self-sacrificing glory of his love, has not passed away, nor will it ever do so.